At 3:47 in the morning, in a small apartment in the Middle East, a 26-year-old man sat on the edge of his bed, staring at a blank screen. The website was gone, the money was gone, and in the silence of that room, he realized something that would haunt him for years to come. Every single rupee his father had saved over 2 decades of working abroad, every drop of sweat, every missed family gathering, every sacrifice made so that one day they could return home with dignity. Gone. Vanished into the digital void, and it had all started with a simple message from a stranger who claimed she had texted the wrong number. This is the story of Samir, and if you think you're too smart to fall for a scam like this, you need to hear what happened next. Samir had moved to Dubai with his father when he was just 19 years old. His father, Mahesh, had been working in the Gulf for over 15 years by then, first in construction, then as a supervisor for a logistics company. He was one of those men who never complained, who sent money home every month without fail, who called his wife every Sunday evening, always saying the same thing: just a few more years, then we'll come home for good. But those years kept stretching. Samir had joined him after finishing his diploma in computer hardware. He found work as a technical support assistant at a mid-sized electronics firm. The pay wasn't glamorous, but it was stable, and more importantly, he could help his father save faster. For 3 years, things were fine. Then the company restructured. Samir was called into his manager's office on a Tuesday afternoon. The conversation lasted exactly 4 minutes. "We're downsizing. Your position has been eliminated. HR will process your final settlement." No warning, no second chances, just a handshake and a cardboard box. In the weeks that followed, Samir did everything right. He updated his resume, printed 50 copies, visited every electronics shop, every IT firm, every office complex in the industrial district. He registered on every job portal. He asked everyone he knew for leads. Nothing. Dubai was expensive. His visa was tied to his employment. He had 90 days to find a new sponsor, or he'd have to leave the country. And every night, he'd sit across from his father at their small dinner table, watching the man pretend everything was fine, while silently calculating how much of his savings would disappear if Samir couldn't find work. That was Samir's state of mind when his phone buzzed one evening with a message from an unknown number. The message was written in English, casual, friendly, slightly confused. "Hey, is this Natalie? I think I got the number wrong, LOL. So sorry." Samir glanced at it and almost ignored it. But something about the profile picture caught his attention. A young woman with a bright smile, stylish clothes, a skyline in the background that looked like Singapore or Hong Kong. He typed back a simple response: "No problem, wrong number." He expected that to be the end of it. It wasn't. "Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. But honestly, it's kind of funny how random connections happen sometimes, right? I'm Sophie, by the way." Samir hesitated. "I'm Samir, it's fine, happens to everyone." "Samir, that's a nice name. Are you in Singapore too?" "No, Dubai." "Dubai, I've always wanted to visit. One of my friends is planning a trip there next month. Maybe you could recommend some places, if that's not too weird to ask a stranger, LOL." Now, if this had happened 6 months earlier, when Samir had a job, a routine, a full social life, he probably would have politely declined and moved on. But he was lonely. He was stressed. And talking to a friendly stranger about tourist spots felt harmless. He replied. And just like that, the conversation began. Over the next 2 weeks, Sophie became a fixture in Samir's daily life. She messaged him every morning, asked about his day, shared little details about hers. She said she worked at a fashion boutique in Singapore, that she was 24, that she loved cooking but was terrible at it, that she had a cat named Mochi. Small details, human details, the kind that made her feel real. She also shared her problems. Can I be honest with you? I broke up with my boyfriend last month. Found out he was seeing someone else for almost a year. I still can't believe I didn't see the signs. I'm sorry, Samir typed. That's awful. It's okay. I'm better off without him. But sometimes I just feel so stupid, like I trusted someone completely and they just used me. Samir felt a strange connection. He knew what it was like to feel blindsided, to lose something important, to question your own judgment. You're not stupid, he replied. Some people are just good at hiding who they really are. Thank you, Samir. Honestly, it's nice to talk to someone who actually listens. Most people just say move on like it's that easy. What Samir didn't realize was that every message, every vulnerability, every shared detail was being carefully catalogued. Sophie, or whoever was behind that profile, was building a psychological profile. They knew he was unemployed. They knew he was financially stressed. They knew he was emotionally isolated. And most importantly, they knew he was the kind of person who wanted to help. The trap was being set, and Samir had no idea. It happened on a Thursday evening. Samir was lying on his bed, scrolling through job listings for the 100th time, when Sophie's message came through. Hey, can I ask you something? It might sound a bit random. Sure. So I do this side job online. It's really simple. Just takes like 30 minutes a day. I usually do it during my lunch break, but today I'm stuck at a work event and I can't access my laptop. Would you be able to help me out? I can walk you through it. Samir frowned. What kind of job? It's like evaluating product offers for an e-commerce platform. They partner with big brands. All you do is click on the offers to boost their visibility. The platform pays you a small commission for each click. That sounds kind of strange. I know, right? I thought the same thing when I first started, but I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. It's totally legit. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't. I'd feel terrible putting a friend in a weird situation. Friend? The word stood out. I'm not asking you to do anything with your own money, Sophie continued. I'll send you my login details. You just log in, click the offers, and send me screenshots. I'll even pay you for your time. Say $50. $50. For 30 minutes of clicking. Samir needed to pay his phone bill. He needed to buy groceries. He needed to stop watching his savings dwindle day after day. Okay, he typed. Tell me what to do. Sophie sent him a link. The website looked professional, clean interface, logos from major retailers, a dashboard showing account balance, task progress, and commission rates. She gave him her username and password. See the balance? That's my working capital. Click on the first offer. Samir clicked. The screen flashed a progress bar. Processing. Then commission earned. $300 USDT. See? Simple. Now click the next one. He clicked again. And again. With each click, the numbers went up. That's the basic tier, Sophie explained. Now watch this. I'm going to upgrade to the premium tier. The commissions are bigger, but you need more capital. She deposited more cryptocurrency into the account. Samir kept clicking. By the time he finished, the account showed a balance of over 2,000 USDT. Perfect. You're done. I'll withdraw everything now. Samir watched as the numbers changed. Within minutes, Sophie sent him a screenshot of the funds landing in her crypto wallet. "Thanks so much. Here's your $50, as promised. Do you have a wallet address?" He didn't. "No worries. Let me help you set one up. It takes like 5 minutes." This is the moment that changed everything. The scammers had just given Samir something more valuable than any logical argument. They gave him proof. He saw the website work. He saw the money move. He saw real USDT land in a real wallet. The seed of trust had been planted, and it was about to grow into something devastating. That night, Samir couldn't stop thinking about what he'd just witnessed. $50 for 30 minutes. If the system was real, and he'd just seen that it was, then why couldn't he do it too? He mentioned it to Sophie the next day, casually, testing the waters. "So, do you think someone like me could try this? Just small amounts?" Sophie's reply came quickly. "Honestly, I was hoping you'd ask, but I didn't want to push you into anything. This is totally your decision. How much would I need to start?" The basic tier is pretty low, like 100 USDT. You could test it out and see how you feel. $100. It was money Samir couldn't really afford to risk, but it was also money that could potentially multiply. He'd seen it happen with his own eyes. He took the leap. For the first few days, everything worked exactly as Sophie had described. He deposited small amounts, completed tasks, watched his balance grow. At the end of the first week, he withdrew 250 USDT, more than double what he'd put in. The money actually arrived in his wallet. He converted it to local currency, paid his phone bill, bought groceries. It was real. Samir felt something he hadn't felt in months. Hope. "This is amazing," he messaged Sophie. "Why doesn't everyone know about this?" "Most people don't trust things they don't understand," she replied. "That's their loss." What Samir didn't understand was that he was being handled by professionals. And this wasn't Sophie's personal side hustle. This was a carefully orchestrated operation run by organized crime syndicates. The small withdrawal he'd just received, that was the cost of acquiring him as a customer. A few $100s to earn his complete trust, because they knew what was coming next. The tiers were the key to everything. The more money you deposited, the higher your tier, and the higher your tier, the bigger the commissions. VIP bronze, VIP silver, VIP gold, VIP platinum. Each level unlocked new, exclusive offers with higher returns. But there was a catch. To complete a cycle and withdraw funds, you had to finish 25 tasks. And as you climbed the tiers, the task requirements increased. At first, this seemed reasonable to Samir. He was completing tasks easily, watching his balance swell. "You're doing so well," Sophie encouraged. "I'm honestly impressed. It took me months to reach silver tier." Pride, validation, momentum. The psychology was relentless. The first problem appeared on task 18. The system required a deposit of 800 USDT to continue. Samir didn't have that much liquid cash. "I'm stuck," he messaged Sophie. "I don't have enough to complete the next task." "Oh no, how much do you have in your savings?" "I could scrape together maybe 500. That's tricky. The problem is, if you don't complete the cycle, your balance stays frozen. You can't withdraw anything until you hit 25. Panic crept in. "What should I do?" "Can you borrow from someone? It's only temporary. Once you complete the cycle, you'll get everything back, plus your profits." Samir looked at the numbers on the screen. His balance showed over 3,500 USDT. He could see the money sitting there. It was his. He'd earned it. He just needed to unlock it. He thought about his father. about the small metal safe where Mahesh kept his emergency fund. "I might be able to get it," he typed. "That's great. Don't worry, Samir. I've been through this phase too. It's just a temporary crunch. You'll be fine." Samir told himself it was just a loan. He would take the money from his father's savings, complete the cycle, withdraw everything, and return it before anyone noticed. Mahesh was working double shifts that week. He wouldn't check the safe. Samir counted out the bills, converted them to USDT, deposited them into the platform. Task 19, complete. Task 20, complete. His balance was now showing over 5,000 USDT, but then task 21 appeared. Premium tier task required deposit 1,200 USDT. Samir felt his stomach drop. "Sophie, the amounts are getting really high." "I know it feels intense, but look at your balance. You're about to unlock more than $8,000. That's life-changing money, Samir." "I don't have 200 to deposit." "What about the rest of your father's savings?" This was the moment. Looking back, Samir would later identify this as the point where everything could have been different. If he had stopped, if he had thought about why a friend was encouraging him to drain his father's life savings, if he had noticed that Sophie never seemed to struggle with these deposits herself, but the numbers on the screen looked so real. The money was right there. He just needed to finish. Samir didn't tell his father what he was doing. He didn't tell anyone. He took the remaining savings, the money his father had accumulated over years of sacrifice, and fed it all into the platform. Task 22, complete. Task 23, complete. Task 24, complete. "One more," Sophie cheered. "You're almost there." And then task 25 appeared. Final tier verification, required deposit, 5,000 USDT. Samir stared at the screen. $5,000. He didn't have it. There was nothing left. "Sophie, I can't do this. I put in everything I have." For the first time, Sophie's replies started to slow down. That's a tough situation. Can you help me? Please, I'm stuck." "Samir, I've already helped you so much. I showed you the system. I gave you my knowledge. I can't keep funding other people's accounts. I'm not asking you to fund it. I just need advice. The advice is simple. Find the money, take out a loan, ask a friend. Do what you have to do. You're so close. It would be a shame to give up now." Something cold began to creep into Samir's chest. This didn't feel like a friend anymore. This felt like pressure. Over the next 3 days, Samir tried everything. He messaged Sophie repeatedly. She responded less and less. Her answers became short, vague, dismissive. He tried contacting the platform's customer support. They sent automated responses about verification procedures and processing fees. He searched online for information about the website. And that's when the truth came crashing down. Forum posts, Reddit threads, news articles, all describing the exact same experience, the wrong number message, the friendly stranger, the VIP tiers, the task system, the deposits that kept increasing, the disappearing friend. It had a name, pig butchering, a term coined because the scammers fatten up their victims with trust and small wins before slaughtering them for everything they have. Samir read story after story from people just like him. Engineers, teachers, accountants, doctors, intelligent people, careful people, all of them destroyed by the same script. That night, the website went offline. Every rupee, every dollar, every USDT gone. Samir sat in darkness until dawn. He didn't cry, he couldn't. The shock was too complete. Eventually, he had to tell his father. Mahesh sat quietly as Samir explained everything. The messages, The platform, the tiers, the tasks, the savings. When Samir finished, the older man didn't yell, didn't curse, didn't hit anything. He just looked at his son with eyes that held 15 years of exhaustion and said, "We'll figure it out." 3 words. But Samir heard what his father couldn't say out loud. That money was our ticket home. That money was your mother's security. That money was every festival I missed, every wedding I couldn't attend, every funeral I watched on a phone screen. And now it's gone. In the days that followed, the scammers made one final attempt. A message from a new number. "Dear user, your account has been flagged for withdrawal processing. To release your funds, please pay a verification fee of 2,500 USDT. Samir blocked the number, but he understood now. Even after taking everything, they still wanted more. They always wanted more. Before we close, there are things you need to understand, not as judgment on Samir or anyone like him, but as armor against the people who run these operations. Lesson 1, the wrong number is never wrong. If a stranger messages you claiming to have texted the wrong number, then seamlessly transitions into friendly conversation. That's a script. Real wrong numbers end with sorry and silence. Anything more is a strategy. Lesson 2, real money is part of the con. The most dangerous scams will actually pay you at first. Small withdrawals, real cryptocurrency in your wallet. This isn't proof the platform is legitimate. It's an investment in your destruction. They'll spend hundreds to steal thousands. Lesson 3, urgency and task systems are manipulation. Any platform that requires you to complete a cycle before withdrawing or demands increasing deposits to unlock your own money is designed to trap you. Legitimate investments don't lock your funds behind artificial task requirements. Lesson 4, your emotional state is their opportunity. These scammers specifically target people who are unemployed, lonely, grieving, or financially stressed. They're not looking for stupid victims. They're looking for vulnerable ones. Vulnerability is not weakness, but awareness of it can save you. Lesson 5, the friend will disappear when you need them. Notice how Sophie's responses changed the moment Samir couldn't deposit more. The warmth, the encouragement, the daily messages, all of it evaporated. And that's because the relationship was never real. It was a function of your usefulness to them. Here's what I keep thinking about when I read stories like Samir's. We live in a world that tells us to be open, to be friendly, to trust people, to take chances. And then when we do those things and get hurt, the same world says, "How could you be so stupid?" But Samir wasn't stupid. He was unemployed and scared. He was trying to help his father. He was offered what looked like a lifeline, and he grabbed it. The people who did this to him, the syndicates, the script writers, the operators behind fake profiles, they study human psychology like scientists. They test their methods on thousands of victims. They refine their approach until resistance is almost impossible. This is not about intelligence. This is about predators who've perfected their craft. Samir eventually found a new job. His father continued working, pushing his retirement back another 5 years. They never recovered the money. The police filed a report. Nothing came of it. But Samir started talking about what happened to him, telling his story, warning others, because shame is what these scammers count on. Silence is their greatest protection. And the only way to fight back is to make sure everyone knows exactly how this works. If you've made it this far, I need you to do something. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it. A parent, a sibling, a friend who's been struggling lately? You don't have to make it weird, just send them the link. You might be the reason they don't answer that next wrong number message. And if you or someone you know has been affected by a scam like this, there's no shame in seeking help. Report it to the cybercrime authorities in your country. Reach out to support groups. You're not alone. You are never alone. This has been Online Scam Stories. Stay safe out there. And remember, if it feels too good to be true, it's because someone designed it to feel that way.